Hello and welcome into another edition of the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Sammy Miller, alongside your broadcasters, Ian Nicholas and Dylan Pescatore. And boy, do we have a big day today. It's a doubleheader. The Firebirds against the Chatham Anglers after last night's tough 15-5 loss against the Harbor Hawks. But hey, today is a new day. We do have to talk a little bit about last night, though. Every team is bound to get a blowout. And last night, it was the Firebirds blowout that happened to them, in big part due to their pitching. Dylan, what did you see from those six arms last night?
Yeah, I saw a Firebirds team that came out swinging with 2 runs in the bottom of the first, but the pitching couldn't hold it together. Sam Leboki in the second inning, he didn't have his best stuff. Then came in Colton Sunloff, who's possibly my best arm out of last night from what I saw. Curran Jacobs made his debut. Chase Loomis once again struggled after 2 strong innings. That third inning was a little bit too much for him, and they had some position players on the mound. So out of yesterday, which not a good game for the Firebirds, you're going to have those type of games. Colton Sunloff is my name to look forward to really develop a role out of this bullpen.
Now, one of the positive takeaways, though, from last night was the Firebirds' run in the end of the 9th inning, especially Owen Carpelotti's home run. It was his first homer of the summer. How much do you think that's going to help him with his confidence moving forward?
Oh, I think Owen's confidence has gone up and up as the summer's gone on. He struck out a lot less. He's now got a hit in 6 of his last 7 games, 2 of them last night, including the first home run, like you said, in the 9th inning. I give the guys a lot of credit in the 9th inning. They played really tough. They had some great at-bats. They did not give in on that game. They weren't just swinging out of their minds. They were getting quality at-bats and making it count. Carpelotti not only with the home run in the 9th, but also drove in a run with a single in that first inning like Dylan was talking about. Owen Carpelotti mashes baseballs. He's been so productive over his 2 years at Georgetown, and I think he's finally going to start to provide that on a consistent basis for this team.
Just like Henry Hunter said, Owen Carpelotti rakes, and yes, he does. Hopefully, he continues to do so today. And speaking of today, it's going to be Evan Truitt starting on the mound, pitcher from Charleston Southern. What pitches should we be expecting from him today, Dylan?
Yeah, Truitt's been really good this season, other than his first start against Wareham, ever since 5 starts and 5 really good ones. He's been probably the most reliable starter out of this starting rotation for the Firebirds. He brings a 2-seam fastball, a 4-seam fastball, along with a slider and a changeup for Truitt out of Charleston Southern. I talked to him. He comes from a small school, Charleston Southern, but when he's facing these big Power 5 guys, he has all the confidence in the world. He can get them out.
And it seems like the baseball gods don't really want the Firebirds and the A's to play. The last 2 games have been postponed due to rain and fog. So the last time they've seen each other was all the way back to June 13th, which seems like forever ago. And these teams have sure changed a lot. What are some of those differences, Ian?
Well, the biggest change for Chatham, not even on the roster, but on the managerial side, Tom Holliday stepping aside due to health reasons and stepping in former Washington State head coach Marty Lees. And Lees, I think anytime you have a midseason manager switch up, regardless of the reason why the manager left the team rallies. And summer ball, it's a little different, but it's the Chatham A's organization that's used to winning. It's used to being the biggest brand on the Cape, used to being a big-time attraction. They've only got 9 wins, and we're in late July. But this group is playing a lot better over the last week with Lees at the helm. So even though there's a lot of pieces coming in and out, although J.J. Weatherholt, arguably their best player, just left the team after a little bit of a minor injury, this group is playing good baseball, inspired baseball in their leads because they know they've still got a shot in this East Division. Brewster and Harwich are kind of hanging around there. The door is open. Chatham can make a late season run.
That's what makes this part of the year so exciting. Like you said, Ian, you never know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. And Dylan, what do you think some of their biggest strengths and weaknesses have been so far?
I think a weakness for Chatham is their pitching staff. Starting pitching and bullpen really hasn't been up to par this season. And I think the Firebirds have to take advantage of that, put runs on the board early and often. What's been a strength to them? Actually, their resiliency. They've come back in a lot of games, most notably 2 days ago against Cotuit, the best team in the West. They were down 12-2 to Cotuit. It seemed like the game was over. Chatham scored 10 runs over 3 innings to come back against the best team in the league, the best team in the West and the CCBL on the road to tie that game and ended up in a tie due to fog. This team has a lot of resiliency. You can put them down, but make sure you knock them out.
And guys, I need keys to game number 1 of 2 today. Ian, you're up first.
Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot. I'm thinking if this whole day is like a crazy, crazy day for baseball. I would just say limit the errors. I know it's, the one that is such a basic answer, but last night 3 errors from Orleans came back to burn the Birds, especially early on in that 6-run second inning from a really good team in Hyannis. Chatham, an offense that's looked better as of late. Dylan just said it. They can put up runs in a hurry. Do not make those runs a little bit easier for them to attain.
Dylan, how about you? What's your key?
My key is about Evan Truitt. 7-inning game, by the way. So these 2 are 7-inning games. If he gives 4 innings and just leaves 3 innings to the bullpen, the Firebirds will have success.
Well, it should be a very exciting one. It's the A's, it's the Firebirds, but stay tuned for a lot more content on the Scorching Start.
All right, let's go to war, boys. You guys can get out.
I'm now joined alongside Firebirds manager Kelly Nicholson. Of course, not the outcome you wanted last night. What was the message post-game to the team?
Just forget about it. And, today's a new day, and that's going to happen in baseball. We've done it, to a team, and we had it done to us last night. And you just kind of move on and have a super short memory in this game, Sammy. And hopefully we have done that, and we have 2 big games today.
And a positive takeaway, though, from last night was Owen Carpelotti's big home run in the 9th. How much did you love the fight from your team?
Yeah, I loved it. It was great to see Carp hit that ball onto the band shell and see them compete, when the game was out of hand. So that's kind of who this group is. They're gonna fight right down till the final pitch, a final out. And they did that last night in spite of the score.
And today is the first doubleheader of the season. What is the game plan like with a doubleheader compared to just a normal game day?
Well, we have 2 7s, and Evan Truitt will go game 1, and we're going to let him go a little bit if he can. We have plenty of arms in the bullpen, and then Grayson Carter will start game 2. We'll try. He's going to open for us. We'd like to get 3 innings out of Grayson today. If he's cruising, we'll let him go a little bit longer, and All-Star game tomorrow, and then we're right back at it on Sunday, I guess, against YD. I think we have them back-to-back. So it's going to be challenging with the doubleheader today and an off day tomorrow, and then I think we have 4 in a row, but I think, we have enough arms to do it.
And speaking of Truitt and Carter, 2 pretty different types of pitchers. What should we be expecting from them today?
Well, Evan is kind of sinker, slider, good changeup. He's 6'1", and Grayson Carter looks like Rob Gronkowski. He's 6'4", 6'5", weighs 250, and he may throw 100 today. So they're two totally different beasts. They're both good. Obviously, they're both really good, and that's why they're going to start game 1 and game 2.
And today is kind of like a rivalry game. The Chatham A's and the Orleans Firebirds have been a great rivalry for many years. How important is today's doubleheader?
Well, they're all important. It's a divisional opponent, and we can really create a little separation today if we do those 4 things well in both games. So that's what we're expecting to do.
Well, thank you so much, Coach. Good luck today.
You bet. Thank you, Sammy.
Hey, set the tone, boys.
I'm now joined alongside Georgetown's Owen Carpelotti. Owen, a beautiful home run at the bottom of the 9th. How did it feel?
Felt very good off the bat. It's something I've been working on with the swing. Just clicked in that at bat. I was able to get the barrel there and finally connected with one.
And how much do you think that's going to help you with your confidence moving forward in the later half of the season?
It's huge. We've only got so many at bats left in the season, and I want to finish as good as I can. At this point, any hit for me builds a lot of confidence, but something big like that is huge.
You guys really rallied in that 9th inning. How does that show with the team that they're able to fight back even though you guys were down by quite a bit?
Yeah, I think it's hardest to hit when you're down at all. Especially when you're down by 10, 12, whatever it was. We can show that we put up 3-4 runs when we're down by that many. If we're up by 1, down by 1, chasing a couple, whatever it is, that just proved that we can do it easily.
And today is the first doubleheader of the season for you guys. You're going to be starting in game 2. What's the mindset in a doubleheader?
Take it 1 inning at a time. With 7-inning games, I think sometimes we tend to start looking forward, and especially against teams in the division, we can't do that. We got to get wins here. So I think we got to approach it 1 game at a time, get the first one down under the belt, and then we'll go get the second one.
And you've been killing it behind the plate all season long. How has it been having so many new pitchers, especially with 5 new additions coming in?
It's interesting. It's fun. I'm lucky enough that I get to catch them in bullpens before the game, and on days that I'm not catching, so I kind of get a feel for the arm. But they're doing a great job this year. Right? They're making my job pretty easy, and I'm just fortunate that they're throwing strikes and I'm having fun doing it.
Has there been any keys that you've kind of noticed that have helped you with just all the new arms you're seeing?
From a physical standpoint, yes. Not trying to do too much framing strikes. Just catch the ball. That's the main thing. That's the name of my position, and just let the ball take me where it goes. But the more confident I get with them, the better I'm able to help them win strikes.
And what do you think the key is to get the win in game 1 and game 2 today?
Game 1, we got to continue what we were doing in the 9th yesterday. Can't leave guys on base when we get the chances. We got to knock them in. And then game 2, after we win the first one, we just got to keep our foot on the gas.
I love it. Thank you so much. Good luck today.
Thanks, Sammy.
That'll do it for this edition of the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network. Make sure you tune in at 3 o'clock when the Orleans Firebirds take on the Chatham Anglers for Game 1 of the doubleheader.